What's going on, social media? Welcome to the motherfucking Church of Hood Punch, baby. I'm back. Now, I would be a lot more fiery in person, but I'm living with my mom and, living with my two brothers, and they're not really, they're not really occultists or they're not really like fucking fiery like me, so I gotta tone Malachi down. Where have I been at? Right? We're gonna get into that. What we're going to talk about is the same cliche, regurgitated fucking nonsense I keep hearing about in the occult, especially Kundalini, the bullshit about the pineal gland, and, my own little theories and hypothesis about what I think is fucking interesting. Right? And, you know, just let's get ready for my shitty intro video. All right? I'm going to work on it. I'm going to get something a little more upscale, more Mercedes Benz than this Toyota Corolla shit I got going on. But all right, let's get into this shitty intro video. All right, we're back. That was some quick shit I worked on, but I know people got busy days, so let's get into this. We're see here at Malachi, here at Hood Punch Productions, we give you a no fluff, no flowery, blowing smoke up your ass mysticism, right? We just get right to it, raw dog it, and here, look, hey, this spiritual channel isn't for, this ain't PG-13, okay? We're gonna drop F-bombs, we're gonna talk about porn, we make a lot of sexual references and innuendo, so, where I've been at, right? So I haven't posted in months, and yeah, I think in a previous video I explained about how I was in the Luciferian order. We did this like black magic, devil worship phase. Still in that phase, kind of, but there was a point. So just to let my viewers know like, where I've been at, what does it even have to do with anything what I'm talking about? I forgot. I ramble a lot. Had a point. Fuck. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've worked with some pretty famous occultists, man. Online, not in person, but I've rubbed elbows with some of the greats and kind of know what the fuck I'm talking about. And but tragically, man, what I see is people. I mean, they're not pushing the envelope, man. You know what I mean? They're not. I had a discussion here with my actual real best friend here in El Paso, Misty, and we're talking about how like, can you imagine if hip hop did the same shit? We forgive this in every. We don't forgive this. It's funny to me that we don't forgive this in like hip hop. We don't forgive this in heavy metal or in sports. But can you imagine like basketball doing the same shitty, what's that called? Layups and pick and rolls from like the fucking 70s and what nonsense? Come on, fuck out of here with that, bro. Imagine if fucking heavy metal did the same dumbass riffs from like the early thrash metal riffs from like, man, 2019, we're still doing that bullshit. We're still doing that dumb shitty, fucking, I forgot what they were called, man. Those like power chords. But for some reason, we forgive this in spirituality. I mean, people have been talking about the Kundalini since the motherfucking 70s. We're still talking about that shit like it's like, like it's new. Like it's, oh my god, the Kundalini awakening. Let's explain what the Kundalini awakening is. People ain't got all fucking day. But Kundalini's bullshit. Chakra's bullshit. Now, I don't care who I offend and the left mysticism, left hand path, I don't care who the fuck I offend. But it's bullshit, man. I mean, it's not complete bullshit, but here's what I mean by that, man. It's like, dude, even Ia Coetti, one of the most famous black magicians, occultists out there. I think he came out with a video months ago talking about how it's bullshit, right? Like how what they teach you is like, I feel like in everything, in science. I'm gonna put my Alex Jones hat, put my tinfoil hat on. I feel like, these gurus, these teachers, they only like half teach you, right? Because everything, the universe is a pyramid, right? The triangle is the first shape. So always go back to your childhood. Always go back to elementary school and realize and contemplate that, introspect on childhood and on elementary school, and realize that it wasn't like that. Your teachers gave you your best effort. They tried their fucking very best for you to understand that 2 + 2 = 4, and that's the color blue, right? And how rain works, the precipitation and the condensation, all that. They tried their best, right? What happened to that? People get fucking lazy, right? So you have these spiritual identity crises. People get fucking lazy, and they see suckers, right? Oh, this sucker, man, he's going through a spiritual identity. I'm gonna fuck this guy up. And look, there are spiritual masters out there, gurus, some that I've worked with, but there comes a point where, like, just like the elementary school analogy that I'm kind of like improvising right here. They try, but then at some point when you hit middle school and when you start in high school and college, do you think it's like appropriate for like, the professor to follow you back home to your dorm and make sure you're, writing your papers? Right. This is the thing of life. I have a close friend, Tara. She talks about, I taught her this shit, right? But God is great, right? God is great. You can't, the moment where you become student and master, it's great. It's a fucking fog, right? Where was that point in time in your school career when you're like, oh, I'm going to stop smoking weed and going to house parties and actually get a bachelor's? Where was that point in time? The Kundalini. I'm rambling again. See, I try to keep this shit under like 15 minutes. Let's get on to it. The Kundalini is bullshit. It's not this fucking spiritual awakening. What is the Kundalini? Right? For my atheist friends, for my non-mystic friends, what is that? It's this fucking nonsense about this fairy tale about how, like, there's this goddamn coil, there's this auric, etheric snake, this cosmic etheric snake that resides in all living creatures, and a part of it resides in your root chakra, which is located between your gooch. If you don't know what the gooch is, it's in your gooch, right? The bottom of your spine, to keep it, keep it fucking simple here, but it's in your gooch. I like to cuss people. Again, you're not going to get this like textbook shit from this shit. Anyway, it's in your gooch. And what happens is that the Kundalini is supposed to, like, when you go through this very powerful sexual spiritual experience in your life where you make a spiritual connection with someone that you're erotically involved with, I guess, or something, or even through like holotropic breath work or intense meditation, you fall in love with yourself, your opposite self. And you have some fucking nonsense. And there's like a polarity to it. There's Shakti, and then there's the prana, and then they kind of interweave. Some fucking nonsense. And here's what it really is. Okay, the Kundalini is actually not a spiritual awakening, but it's a spiritual puberty. And you've gone through these things, right? See, my Kundalini experience was when I was deeply Christian, and I couldn't refute some of the ideas that atheists had. And I went through this atheist phase. It's this puberty. It's like your mind opens doors that you cannot close. Just like puberty. Like, you start thinking about girls, start thinking about sex, boys. You can't close that, bro. It's fucking nature. You can't really close the animal in it. And that's simply what it is. There is a psychic sense to it, right? But what I'm talking about is the gestalt, the summary, the holistic concept of the Kundalini, right? I'm not going to talk about, the mystic or the meditative or the psychic aspect, because there's other teachers. There's a bazillion fucking videos on that. I'm seriously not going to teach that shit here, but when I teach the overall concept, it's dark. Like, we all remember sixth grade, right? Remember when you're in fifth grade, you're into cartoons, comic books, and shit, and then you see a sexually attractive girl for the first time. You're in sixth grade, you see a fucking ninth grader, she's really hot. She's dating, she's dating the fucking drug dealer. It's that's what bam! It's in your face. Welcome to reality, right? How come this is what I'm fucking talking about. It's this regurgitated bullshit that people talk about only the psychic aspect, only the mystical aspect of things, of the Kundalini. Talk about the Kundalini in this regurgitated fucking insipid, vapid way. And it's not through. I'm trying to help people build their YouTube careers. And I'm my nigga, you're not going to get any followers like that. Right? Let's fuck with the pineal gland. It's what I was really going to bash today. And this is a big one, dude, because I keep hearing about the motherfucking pineal gland. And it's the third eye. I feel like these occultists, they don't balance themselves. I feel like this is the message in every fucking community that I've been, the political, the anarchistic community. I'm in the moral, philosophical communities, right? I follow people like Stefan Molyneux, Mark Passio. I'm in the conspiracy theory movement, you cult community. I'm in all kinds of shit, And I keep seeing a lack of balance. It's like, dude, the pineal gland. You have to take. This is where real spiritual growth. This is where real conscious evolution takes place. Is that you have to kind of like do this a little bit because we all have personalities. I skew over to the theism, to the mystic side of things, but in order to kind of round myself out, I entertain atheistic things, skeptical things, and it's so do you. I mean, dude, what I'm saying is like, people talk about the pineal gland and its third eye, and you say the same fucking nonsense, the Agnya chakra, the Om Agnya, in your third eye, clairvoyant. And I know, bro, you have not fucking read anything about science. You haven't, bro. You haven't read about how the pineal gland is actually the organ that has the most neural connections to your ocular organ, your eyes. Right? And there's a reason why, because it really, all the pineal gland is supposed to do is just help you sleep. See, it notices the light and day patterns, and so it kind of, in your mind, in the neocortex, it kind of like runs this mathematical program. Okay, I keep noticing that there's 12 hours day, 12 hours of night. You should go to bed by night. That's all it does. Now, my theory as to why people think that is that the pineal gland has something to do with third eye and psychic powers is that, very common that people have profound spiritual experiences in their dream state, in dreaming. So, it's a correlation there, but I'm not, bro, and it's not that, there's no nice way to say that, right? I mean, this isn't a nice channel. Like, I try to be positive, I try to be like inspiring, and I try to be angelic, but I'm telling you, I'm a bit of a dark guy, and so it comes out. I want to do best by my viewers, try to be optimistic, but look, dude, I'm not blaming you that you didn't go to college. I barely have an associate's degree, so I can't blame people that did. I get it, bro. Life's hard. We all trying our best, but homie, try better, bro. The occultists that I can respect is that they both know about the mystical, the Agnya chakra, and the meditative, and they had clairvoyant experiences, but that also, cracked open a fucking science book too, and that they know about that also has to deal with the circadian rhythm. Right? So what I'm talking about, dude, people push the envelope. My final thing, probably ran over fucking, sorry guys, but you try to, so I get into it. I get into these podcasts, man. I get into these vlogs, but I need to, I'm fucking Virgo. Always like self-critical. But anyway, look. Here's a theory that I want you to walk away from that actually might be badass. Is that how many people ever heard about the amygdala in the occult? What's the amygdala? What's that? Now, how many people actually know what the word introversion, extroversion actually means? Let me not nerd you out too much. Keep it all very brief and simple. Introversion, extroversion, these are not social terms. They're not terms that should be used to socialize or flirt or whatever. Like, no. They're meant to be used in a clinical, psychological, neurological setting, and they mean certain things. And it's basically a spectrum, right, of your social anxiety and fear and your seemingly social courage. Why is that? Mainly to do with the amygdala, which is another organ. I believe it around the hypothalamus. It's like the inner core of your brain. Maybe, I don't know. I need to brush up on my neurology, but basically the amygdala is responsible for the fight or flight responses. And it helps to produce the adrenaline needed for those experiences. What it is, people like me, like an introvert, that skews over to the introverted side. We have overly developed compared to the general population. We have just more powerful, more sensitive. As I'm very street smart. I'm very good at reading people, but there's a cost to that. At this, I'm not the best manager. I try to be one time I was a specialist promotable in the army, and it's just, I have some leadership abilities, but then I'm no fucking General Patton either, right? So, and that's people that are very outgoing, very socially courageous. These people are very good leaders, very fearless, very courageous at a cost. There's drawback, and this is why we talk about balance a lot here. Why I talk a lot about balance on Hood Puns and the balance on this on this vlog here, because there's also a drawback to that, being overly extroverted. You're an attention whore. You're a diva. You tend to be reckless with your decisions, and you're very poor at reading people. You're you have an overly romantic, optimistic view of humanity. You see the good and the shittiest of people, and there's a balance. To be truly powerful, you have to be, angelic and demonic, extroverted and introverted. And we'll discuss duality on another episode. But as an occultist, right? If you truly consider yourself a magician, if you take one fucking thing away from this episode, it's to be yourself, to know yourself. My point is that anything outside of yourself telling you who you are is bullshit, right? And if you want, Malachi said that Kundalini is bullshit, and that doesn't mean that you have to accept that. I could be fucking wrong. I could be right. Could be right though, right? What I'm saying, anything outside of yourself telling you who you are is bullshit. Anything inside of yourself telling you who you are is magic. That's fucking godhood. That's real magic. And I see a lot of external power going out there in the occult community. I'm a guru. That, especially in the right-hand path, right? It's no secret, look. In the left-hand path in the devil worship community, we're like rival siblings, I don't want to put anybody's names, but anybody that knows me, they know that I sometimes beef with these people, but I got mad love for all my demon folk. Mad love for VK, mad love for the Become a Living God, Michael Ford, Lucian Black, Patrick Gaffiro, all these, the Order of Drag. These are my people. These are my niggas, right? We kind of don't get along sometimes, but then get along. Family don't fight, but it's no secret that I don't really vibe with the New Agers, the right-hand pathers. If getting a little thug out here. Why did I get into a thug rant? Anyway, motherfuck, Teal Swan, suck my dick, bro. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. You especially see that a lot in the right-hand path. The gurus. I'm Teal Swan, and I'm a fucking guru, and I talk to angels all day. And I'm Ralph Smart. I'm Infinite Waters. Breathing in some of that good-ass prana. Can I get... Shut the... Can't stand that motherfucker, bro. If you like him, that's cool, but... Anyway. Hell was I talking about? Take one fucking thing away from this episode. Is that when you become yourself, you become your best version of yourself. Your most interesting version of yourself. And that's what I've been, I'm like that stereotypical, like, how Stella, one of my favorite movies. I like chick flicks, I don't give a fuck who. But anyway, one of my favorite chick flicks from growing up is how Stella found her groove back. How Malachi found his groove back. Malachi found his self back. Now, it's interesting because, people are liking my shit more. It's not regurgitated. Earlier I tried to sound too much like Mark Passio or stuff. And that's, take that one thing away from is to be yourself, become the best version of yourself, and you will start to develop a gravity. I think that's it. I mean, this video has become long now. It was supposed to be, my bad. It's supposed to be 15 minutes, but I'm gonna work on that because I'm only gonna get better. I'm gonna develop a better intro video, better, even more interesting, because I'm committed to becoming the best version of myself. More interesting content, and also shorter and higher quality. Because I'm gonna write out these PowerPoint slides, rehearse, instead of just me here rambling. I mean, it's not rambling because this episode had a bit of a theme to it. But bye-bye. Again, know thyself, know thyself, know thyself. To know, to dare, to will, and to keep silent. Most important, it's to keep silence. I don't like to keep secrets. I don't keep secrets. I'm just the more, because I like to talk to myself all day, and I'm like, I have a lot of knowledge to teach people. So I need to shut the fuck up and train. All right? Au revoir, magicians.